Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Let's talk about the January 24th edition of Saturday night's main event, which happens tonight. And I think this show, this Saturday night's main event, has a ton of very serious implications for, of course, Royal Rumble, of course, Elimination Chamber, and, of course, WrestleMania. We know the last Saturday night's main event is where John Cena officially retired. He tapped out to Gunther, which also has huge implications for WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, as we know. But will this Saturday night's main event on January 24th live up to that hype? I think it has a huge potential because there are 4 matches, and they're all very, very important for WrestleMania season. We know because of last Saturday night's main event, Gunther is at the very top of his game right now, and AJ Styles has an issue with that. Because of that, they're having another match at Royal Rumble where AJ Styles' career is on the line. And so because of that, on the January 23rd edition of Friday Night SmackDown, Shinsuke Nakamura challenged AJ Styles to a match. Now, this is a storied rivalry of Shinsuke and AJ. They've wrestled all over the world. They have some of the best chemistry you're ever going to see between two wrestlers. And Shinsuke Nakamura is challenging AJ Styles to another match. Now, in my eyes, this is a bad choice for AJ Styles. It's a bad choice for AJ Styles to put his career on the line, and it's a bad choice for AJ Styles to be wrestling someone as dangerous as Shinsuke Nakamura so close to his match against Gunther. But AJ Styles is a bulldog. That dude's a fighter, and he will never turn down a fight. But I think Shinsuke Nakamura wins this match at Saturday night's main event simply because AJ Styles' head and mind and his body will be somewhere else. He'll be thinking about Gunther. He'll be thinking about his whole career, his whole career as a professional wrestler, whether it was in New Japan or TNA or WWE. He'll be thinking about everything except being in the ring with one of the most dangerous strikers in professional wrestling, Shinsuke Nakamura, and that will get him beat. Now, I have no idea if AJ Styles is going to beat Gunther at the Royal Rumble. I hope he does. I hope every single match AJ Styles has for the rest of 2026, his career is on the line. And we see just every match he has, just with high intensity. There's so much at stake. Could this be the match that AJ Styles loses and his career is over? I think he should do with Gunther in the Royal Rumble every single match the rest of the year. Imagine if he beats Gunther, has to do the same thing in the Royal Rumble. He wins the Royal Rumble, goes on to WrestleMania, beats CM Punk, and becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. And the next time he loses, whoever takes that title away from him not only takes the title, but takes his career. That's another sort of, putting some guy over, really giving someone the rub that could actually help someone. Now, is it possible that Gunther just beats him at the Royal Rumble and AJ Styles' career is over? Absolutely. That's why I think Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win at Saturday night's main event. And then we'll see where Shinsuke Nakamura goes. We'll see what happens with AJ and Gunther. Both of them are also participating in the Royal Rumble, and both are also on a list of potential winners for the Royal Rumble. So that has huge implications. And then you go into this tag team match, which doesn't have massive implications, right? Roxanne and Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. What's interesting about the tag team division right now for the women is that every single person on the women's side who's entered the Royal Rumble is in part of a group. Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane, Asuka. I think at some point you're going to see Kairi Sane break away from Asuka, break away from sort of her rule and her grip, and Kairi Sane is going to become a massive babyface once again. But then you have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky team, Roxanne, Liv, Raquel team. So what's going to happen in the women's Royal Rumble match that's going to sort of separate some groups? Who's going to turn on who's going to win, right? All of those things matter, and I think WWE is doing this on purpose to show you that there are all these sort of little teams in the women's Royal Rumble match. So who's going to team up? Who's not going to team up? Who's going to turn? Who's not going to turn? And who's going to get elevated to win the 2026 women's Royal Rumble match? That will come in a few weeks, or maybe next week in Saudi Arabia. But then we have, I think, just the winner of the match. I think it's going to be Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are going to beat Roxanne and Liv. I wouldn't be shocked if Roxanne and Liv win, but that's not a real prediction. So I'm just going to say that the tag team titles are retained by Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And then you go into Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. This is Jacob Fatu's biggest match of his career, and WWE is setting him up to be a main event superstar. because they already had him return in a huge fashion. Drew McIntyre is the WWE Undisputed Champion because of Jacob Fatu, and there's rumors that it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania for the WWE Undisputed Championship, where Jacob Fatu is in strong consideration for winning that title at WrestleMania. So, of course, in this January 24th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, it is highly likely that Jacob Fatu beats Cody Rhodes. Will he beat him clean? No idea. Will there be some interference? Most likely. But will Jacob Fatu pick up the win tonight? I truly believe so. And again, it'll put another sort of notch under Jacob Fatu's belt as a main event guy, telling the WWE fans that this guy is next, and it's coming very, very soon. And he's on a very short list. Gunther and AJ Styles are kind of on a longer list. Jacob Fatu is on the very short list of people who are seriously going to win the Royal Rumble, along with Sami Zayn, along with LA Knight, and along with Braun Breaker. And then the longer list potentially includes AJ Styles, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. And so I think Jacob Fatu on this January 24th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event beats Cody Rhodes. And then we have the main event match of Trick Williams versus Damian Priest versus Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn. Again, I have not been thoroughly impressed with Trick Williams. I can be convinced otherwise. Damian Priest is not going to win this match. It really comes down to Randy Orton and Sami Zayn. I don't think Randy Orton is going to win this match either. I think at some point we're going to see Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes feud, but not for the title. And I think that's a feud that fans really want of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. So I think the most likely winner of this match, and my pick for winner, is Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn will win this match. He will go on to face Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. He will lose to Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, and he will still enter the actual Royal Rumble match. And don't be surprised if he loses versus Drew McIntyre and then goes on to win the Royal Rumble, to give the fans in Saudi Arabia who absolutely love Sami Zayn sort of a whirlwind of emotions. But my pick for the Fatal 4-Way is Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn will be the first title defense for Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre will beat him. But again, Sami Zayn is on that very short list of guys who could potentially win the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu are the top 4 picks right now to win the Royal Rumble, along with those other guys I mentioned. But Sami Zayn could pull double duty, just like a Gunther and AJ Styles, even though AJ Styles' career might be over by the time the Royal Rumble match actually starts. Think about that. But Sami Zayn could lose, then win. Jacob Fatu beats Cody Rhodes. He is in a huge spot to win the Royal Rumble. Braun Breaker could win the Royal Rumble and have a rematch versus CM Punk. And then you could have the returning LA Knight return in sort of heroic fashion and win the Royal Rumble. That's why I think this edition, the January 24th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, has massive implications, and I think it's going to be a really, really good show. And those are my picks. Those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below right now, and then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.